the government says in recent years there has been more demand for domestic wood products. Today we take you inside a Chicago-based company where woodworking is alive and well. Incumbent Scott Brown's campaign is taking a traditional route, while newcomer Elizabeth Warren is taking a page out of President Obama's campaign book. You can take steps to protect yourself from a home break-in. A few small adjustments that might seem inconvenient could be enough to outsmart a burglar. Mayor Emanuel's plan to close half of the city's mental health clinics could save Chicago $2.3 million this year. When Weber started out, she was watering plants. Now she's a senior floral designer. 12 million people are expected to watch the big game this weekend. And because gas prices haven't hit that $5 mark, Americans are choosing cars over planes. 278 contestants are here from all over the U.S. and different parts of the world to compete in the nation's largest and most prestigious spelling bee. 50 people have made it to the semifinals, and that number has been whittled down to just 9 who are competing in the final round. The winner not only gets to be named the top speller in the nation, but walks away with $30,000 in cash. Not bad for a middle schooler.
The dog came at me, and I was backing up, and I stepped off the curb, and I fell.
A dog attacking a mailman might be a funny scene in movies.
She was coming at me, so I'm waving my satchel like that, right?
But it isn't funny in real life. Mail carrier Dennis Devonish knows from experience.
But this one here, this dog right here, it was I'm not sure, some sort of mixed dog. She got it from the pound.
Nearly 5,600 postal workers were victims of dog attacks last year. The Postal Service is looking to change that as part of National Dog Bite Prevention Week, which ends Friday. Los Angeles and San Diego rank in the top 2 spots for number of attacks, with Houston rounding out the top 3. And dog attacks are more common this time of year.
See, this one seems to just play too hard.
The dogs are out in the yard more when it's warm. Plus the screen door might be what's there on the front rather than the solid door, and they can get through that easily.
Dog owners can do their part in preventing attacks.
We originally just had a mail slot in the door, and then we replaced that with an external mailbox because that was provoking her too much.
And letter carriers can take steps to increase their own safety.
Looking for signs of a dog, making noise before they go into a place, checking that doors are secure.
All postmen bring milk bones.
The key is to stay alert.
Just remember that any dog can bite given the right opportunity.
And that means dogs of all sizes, big or small. This is Susanna Pak for the Medill News Service.
Insole stitch. Mm-hmm. They just stopped doing that knitting.
Mike Morelli really knows his shoes.
This is something.
He's been in the cobbling business for 30 years. The owner of Brooks Shoe Service on East Madison has a saying about shoes.
You're supposed to be collecting them, not wrecking them and replacing them. So you're supposed to buy this. The shoes should last forever.
Morelli says more people are having their shoes repaired rather than replaced because of the sluggish economy.
If a heel breaks down, kind of bring it in and get it repaired, because it's certainly cheaper to do that than to buy a brand new pair of shoes.
But there are other reasons to have shoes fixed.
I'm buying fewer new pairs of shoes, actually, but because I don't like the current styles. I prefer a classic style.
Either way, that's good news for shoe repair shops like Brooks.
In past years, if you have a recession and you don't have high unemployment, then the business can really boom.
February is one of the slowest months for the shoe repair business, but Morelli says this year is better than last year. And for wholesale suppliers, that's true too.
It was great when the market, when the housing market totally crashed a few years ago. There was a big upswing for about a year, but then it's leveled off.
Isaac Sons Incorporated is the state's only wholesale shoe repair supplier. Steve Sachs says business has grown consistently since 2008, now drawing in about $3.7 million in sales a year. Sachs says people are not only trying to save money, they're taking better care of their feet.
They'll get heel plates put on, they'll get sole guards put on.
Morelli says he hopes his shop stays around for a long time because if it's a numbers game, he's winning.
For the last 30 years, I make about 20 new friends a week.
Susanna Pak, Northwestern News Network. Glenview's Holiday in the Park and Parade is off to a wet start this year.
There's 100 million raindrops that hit my head.
But the rain wasn't enough to keep first-time spectator Tommy Hogan indoors.
If I stayed home, I would kind of be bummed that I wouldn't get to see this parade.
We were expecting this. We found out last night, but we had already mentioned this to our kids, so we were kind of stuck. We were coming.
The village's Chamber of Commerce works with several sponsors to put on the event, rain or shine or even snow.
People told me it was going to rain, but I could take it.
The festival didn't always have the bells and whistles it now has.
They started with a bonfire years ago, and then they decided, hey, let's do a holiday parade. And 17 years ago, and then it just kept going from there.
There was free popcorn, cookies, and hot chocolate. There was even some singing in the rain. Gene Kelly would have been proud.
It's for spirit. It's holiday spirit here in Glenview, and that's really it in a word.
As for the crowd favorite, you might say he was the most recognizable person there.
I do. It's very rewarding when the kids come down and you're walking down with Santa and you can hear them all say, look at it, Santa, it's Santa.
It's a little odd that everyone's focused on you. It almost feels like you're a celebrity.
Some children knew exactly what they wanted from Santa.
I told him that I wanted to get Lego Death Star from Star Wars.
Others were still working on their wish list.
I forgot most of it.
In either case, Santa had a teddy bear and a bear hug for each child. Event organizers say they had a good turnout even with the drizzles and hope to make next year another success. Susanna Pak, Medill.